Hello, my friends. Cheeseburger Guru here. Um, I'm not the guru. The cheeseburger is. And we're here with a fetch chart. I wanted to give you an update um, because, I don't know, you might be scared a little bit. I don't think you should be, but you could be. And so I'm just going to put a little horizontal line here at where the price at which I am long. And I think it's around 61.20 or thereabouts, whatever. Color this differently so that it becomes obvious. Let's make it yellow. Okay. So here's why I don't think you should be worried about fetch. Number one, if technical analysis is something that you use, bless you, that's just fine. But here's a problem with technical analysis. Let's say we were to draw a line here, and let's say we hadn't seen this information here, this data. We were just up to here, or perhaps here. Say it was January 14th. And then we drew a line here. We would likely draw like maybe a horizontal line. That could happen. And we'd say if it breaks below this bottom line, oh, we're in trouble, we better get out, there's going to be a technical breakdown, blah, 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 blah. Now we have the current data. So we draw a line like this, and we say, oh, I see, it's a falling wedge. Yeah, so it's going to stop here, bounce around, and then it's going to take off. That's true too. That could happen. The point is that it doesn't matter, because you have to make a choice. You all know what an RSI is. I have it blown up very large here so that you can see. There's two ways of being in a market. One is you take a position, and your position is longer term, and in so doing, you accept vulnerability. You accept vulnerability. You know that it's going to cycle from overbought to oversold and what have you. You know that there are going to be divergences and the market's going to pull back. You could be looking at this fetch right now saying, oh my gosh, this is a hugely divergent situation. I mean, the RSI is going down, it's going up, it's going to really pull back. It might. Then again, it might not. There are other places where that occurs and it's not the case, and one doesn't know. And even if you say you play a probabilities game, well, you still don't know. Even if you were to know the probability, would that really matter? Let's say there was a 40% chance that something that you're in is going to pull back to the 50% retracement. I mean, you're still going to make a decision, and you might not make a decision strictly on probability, because you're going to be tricked into altering that in your mind. You're going to say, well, these are the fundamentals. There's a lot of Bitcoin that's coming off the market right now, or there's a lot of Bitcoin that's being sold, blah, 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 yada, yada. So that's the choice you make. Now, if you don't want to be vulnerable, then you need to trade it. Then when the RSI is overbought, you need to be mindful of that. And in this kind of situation, maybe you've drawn a line here like this from the bottom, and you've told yourself, well, if it breaks this trend, I'm out, because I don't want to be vulnerable. Okay, that's fair. So it breaks this trend and you're out. And if that had happened and you had done that, you would have had a better price to buy it back at, which is kind of what I did. Now, but I'm long right now, and there's nothing for me to do. I'm certainly not going to take a loss because prices move this far away from the yellow line. Because right now, my price is good enough to keep me comfortable with the vulnerability. And what's the vulnerability? What am I at risk of experiencing? Well, the market's telling me that I'm definitely at risk of price going down to here, 49 cents, 50 cents, 48 cents. Do I mind that? No, I absolutely do not. That's not a big deal to me. And at that level, I have to assume that once we get there, this RSI is going to be reset. And if it's reset, it's going to give me an opportunity to assess whether or not we're bouncing off it or whether or not we are going to fail and go lower to the next level. So right now, there's absolutely nothing to be scared of. I have a plan. I expect the price to decrease because it's showing me that it is. But I'm not worried about it. Let's switch to Bitcoin for a second. Here's the daily chart of Bitcoin. It's in an RSI free-for-all after ostensibly overbought, an overbought scenario. There was divergence here as the price drifted up, but now it's starting to say, okay, I get the picture. The momentum's waning, and some Bitcoin is being sold for whatever reason. But in a bull market, this isn't like, when there are disasters in markets, you've seen it before. Let's find one. The market will go down and people will enter thinking they're buying at a discount, and then it just very quickly just crushes them and goes down more. Over here, here's a perfect example. So when the Bitcoin market turned on November 9th, 2021, you could have bought that and thought you were safe, and it goes up. And then it goes down, and you think, oh my gosh, okay. Well, I'm going to buy some more here. I'm safe. Oh, yeah, it's consolidating. Oh, look at this wick. Yep. Oh, yeah, we're going up. We're breaking out here. Definitely. Whoosh. Again. Now you're either panic selling or you're saying to yourself, oh, yeah, I'll buy some more. And there's that wick. And then, of course, again, down again and down again. And not many people can withstand all of these stressful situations, all of these points here. That's a bear market, right? That's what makes them so difficult. But I don't think we're in one right now. Let's switch to the weekly. I mean, long term, we're in a bull market, and we're very much have come out of this bear move, stabilized, gone higher. So we're looking for that. If you're an Elliott wave person, you might see 1 here, 2 here, and we're in the third, and we're going to go to a fifth. I don't know, but the way I look at it is, barring those fancy things, the RSI is toppy, and we have to withstand a little bit of vulnerability here. However, when you're in a really bold move like over here, the RSI can get toppy and it can look like it's pulling back, but the market just steams forward. When we're in a bearish situation, and this April 12th, 2021, for example, here, when the market starts to turn and it gets overvalued, as in this moment right here, November 8th, 2021, it gets overvalued based on the RSI, it really reacts and goes down and down and down. And when it comes back up to the top, it doesn't, the underlying Bitcoin in this case doesn't really rip necessarily up because it's not sure yet. It's not sure if it's fake or not. But then here, the RSI went back up to sort of a toppy area, and we in fact did get a good move. And the moves are going to get stronger the more we start to learn that the RSI pulling back isn't the end of the world and the beginning of a bear market. It will create a situation like over here. Until I see that that is not the case, that is what I'm going to believe. And as long as I believe that, I can't fear these pullbacks, these very natural and normal pullbacks, and I must stay vulnerable. And you know that I trade the market. But I don't, and you know that I trade it quote unquote incorrectly or like an idiot because I go all in and I hold now. Now I'm an investor in this fetch position. But this is the way I do it because we're in a bull market. I'm not going to give up I'm not going to take a loss when my theory supports the idea of a complete rip soon. So that's where we are right now in Fetch.AI. It seems like technicals are in place. I like the way it's trading. I like the way it's valued here. I like the way that I haven't really heard any there's news that comes out about Fetch, but I have a feeling that as we move on later in the year, the news is going to be more substantial. And if that is also happening in a climate where a lot of other AI ideas are starting to get attention, then we're really setting ourselves up for some kind of an explosive breakout run. So if you have cash, you might think about buying more down here at this 49-cent level. I know a lot of people out there think that way. If you don't have the money to buy more, I wouldn't worry about it. I can say I wouldn't worry about it, and it sounds a lot like financial advice. I'm not trying to do that. I wouldn't worry about it. I mean to say I don't worry about it. I personally am not worrying about it. You may be completely right and valid to worry about it and to act on those worries. However, I am not acting on those worries, and I'm actually not worried. There you have it. Some words about Fetch. Hope you found it helpful. Until next time.